Welcome to week 5, ladies, gentlemen, and household appliances. Here are the standings for the League of Legends. And Jesse, never want to exclude Jesse. Lollipop Guild coming in at 4-0. He's going to get Le'Veon Bell back at some point. We'll see what that looks like. At the same time, he loses James Conner, so sure he was hoping that maybe Lev could go to another team and give him 2 RB1s. But points for, always important there. You see Mr. Luckbox, unfortunately, at the bottom of the standings. Always interesting to take a look at points against there. And Tyler running pretty nasty right there with 471 points allowed. That's poor defense, first of all, not a good strategy. But we're just going to take a look. Not a whole lot happened on waivers this week. There wasn't anything major that went down. There was a trade completed last night. I picked up A.J. Green while giving Keenan Allen and Doug Baldwin to Tyler. It's a move that I felt helped my starters, and Tyler wanted some upside with his wide receiver too, and Doug Baldwin certainly offers that. So we're going to dive right into this preview here. I have done zero prep whatsoever. Kind of a lot going on this week. I understand it's a cop-out, and that's not what you want to hear. But this is it's not going to be high quality. But we're going to dive into it anyway. And I just have to analyze the lineups that are given to me here. Scroll this up a little bit here. We have, and actually before I get started, my apologies to the Tesler, Adler, and Whalen law firm. Naturally, they are some of the greatest, most highly esteemed lawyers in frankly in all of the world, not just in bright and sunny Noblesville. They can do a lot of things for you. They can bury bodies. They can sell you things. They can sell contraband. They can bring in illegals or export illegals. They can do pretty much anything of a criminal nature. Give you some freedom to kind of live your life and YOLO, as it is said. So hit them up. Tesler, Adler, Whalen law firm. I prefer Adler myself, or maybe even Evans, but Trampus, another really, really good lawyer at that law firm in Noblesville. First matchup this week is Alvin Kamara's ACL tear week against the Lollipop Guild. So I don't know what's up with that team name by Blake. Blake put that on for us. Apparently she's projecting that Alvin Kamara might have some knee issues. Not a nice thing to do. Here, certainly, I'm a big underdog. That said, some of Jason's projections are pretty high, but he certainly has a very good team. The thing I've talked about a little bit is for as solid as his running backs are, and they're going to be very good when he gets Bell back, depending on what that workload looks like. I just am not one who believes that you're going to continue to get ceiling games out of Golden Tate and Cooper Kupp, but I could be wrong. I just don't know that either of those players can possibly keep up the pace that they've set. Golden Tate is really good, but a lot of times his touchdowns are a little fluky. Like he's great after the catch. And then Cooper Kupp just totally unguarded for one of his touchdowns last week, 75 yards on a wheel route against a linebacker. That game was crazy the first half. I mean, Jared Goff's just going nuts. Seattle's defense hasn't been very good. But this is a spot where, Seattle sometimes finds it. So we'll see what happens. I don't see it happening, frankly. I think Seattle's in a lot of trouble. But certainly I'm a big underdog here. I do have A.J. Green in the lineup now, but my team's pretty banged up. I have a lot of guys with questionable tags, and that's been my problem this year. So some days, sometimes you can stay healthy, and it's tough when you don't. So certainly like Jason in this spot to execute the big favored victory there, and then I'll be 1-4, and we'll be battling. We're going to keep grinding, though. We're going to keep grinding. Coach's crew, pass first offense. Coach's crew has yet to throw a defense in there, but he's getting married this weekend, Patrick. So congratulations to you from all of the League of Legends community. Patrick is getting married on Friday, I believe, and I think it will be a lovely event. And again, good luck to Patrick here. Just take a look at this here quick, give you some of my takeaways. The double running back from Tennessee approach has not been great. Beckham hasn't been very good for Pat either. And I just don't foresee that getting better this week at Carolina. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on there. Kenny Stills has been very good. Maybe some points scored in that game at Cincinnati. George Kittle's been a beast. Check out that stat line for him last week: 6 for 125 and a tubby time. Pretty nice there, but this is just a spot for Michael that he just has a superior team. Julio, always questionable, always plays. He's got Tyreek, Kerryon Johnson. We'll see what that backfield looks like. Matt Breida. I just don't see a lot of upside or, frankly, floor right now from the coach's crew, especially when you're starting 2 running backs from the same team. Although, if they're ever going to play well, it's in a spot at Buffalo, a game that you would think they could control. So, Michael, that'll be your main point of rooting interest there. What happens in that Tennessee game? Can they just give their running backs the ball 40 times? And they may be able to. I mean, Buffalo is very, very bad. The Butt Buddies and Team Overrated Beard. We have Ryan and Daniel. And I'll just kind of go down their team real quick here. They're 3-1 off to a really, really strong start. And Russell Wilson really hasn't been very good. But he's one who, generally he finds a way to put up better stat lines than that. Just a kind of a combination of things. Doug Baldwin's got to get healthy. Their offensive line is bad. They can't run the ball at all. And, I think Danny and Ryan might want to take a look at that, whether it's make a trade or do something there. I just think it's hard to throw Russell Wilson up and just watch him get beat up every week. Royce Freeman is in kind of a triple timeshare backfield there. Super, super talented guy. I think he's a really, really solid RB2 for them. Carlos Hyde gets a lot of touches, leading the league in touches in the running from the running back position, I believe, including 2 1-yard touchdowns against Juice Me Up in week 3. Those were good. See what happens going forward. They have a lot of talent actually in that backfield, so it'll be interesting to see how that. I don't project Carlos Hyde to get 20 touches for too much longer. I just think at some point, especially with the Browns, you're not that good. You have to use some of your younger players, and I think they will. You got a couple of them back there who are certainly more explosive than Carlos Hyde. DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster. He's got Buck Allen in there this week. I'm guessing that means he has Mike Evans on a bye. Still rostering Dez Bryant, which is kind of fun as well, and also Jordan Howard on a bye. So Danny and Ryan certainly not at their pinnacle here or their zenith of bye week health stuff, but Team Overrated Beard, he's got Patrick Mahomes. He's getting Mark Ingram back this week, so that'll be interesting. Some of you want to throw a DFS dart out there. I don't know that I'll be able to do it, but Mark Ingram met the team at the airport when they got home from their game last week, and he's ready to go. And I know I saw on the social media, Alvin Kamara tweeted at him. I think his number's 2-2. He said 2-2. Let's do this. Welcome back. So Mark Ingram's a guy who he's going to get in the end zone. I mean, I think a couple things happen there. I think Mark Ingram, he improves the Saints running game. I think that will, at least to a small degree, negatively impact Drew Brees. And I think it will negatively impact Alvin Kamara a lot. But Kamara's still stud, just a total freak. And it's not just that, it's the way he's used, right? Drew Brees has always used running backs. He throws to the running backs a lot in the screen game. So that backfield with Ingram and Kamara is just pretty dirty there. Antonio Brown, kind of waiting to see him do what he does. He hasn't had that 180-yard, 2-touchdown game, and I certainly think this could be the week for it at home against Atlanta. That's going to be a game you're going to want to get a lot of action in there. So, man, that's going to be a fun one. I like the Butt Buddies here to get to 4-1, and they're really off to a good start. Shake and bake against the Midgets, Jesse's team. AB doesn't watch these, so I'll kind of talk about your team here, Jesse, as well as maybe project who may or may not win this matchup. Certainly you were happy to see what Diddy did last week, and certainly you're happy to see him against this dog crap San Francisco team. Although he is on the road, but David Johnson's gotten in the end zone a lot. His yardage totals have been bad, but his usage is going to be there. Ezekiel Elliott, coming off his best career game, is a guy who I think Dallas is maybe one of the worst teams in the NFL. I think bottom 5, in my opinion, especially offensively. They're just not very good, but Zeke is very good. So certainly you like that, Jesse. A little worried about Jarvis Landry just personally. But you look at that schedule and you see He has the Chargers, Tampa, Pittsburgh, KC, Atlanta. You can't really have too much of a better 5-game run there. And this week, Baltimore, I don't love that. But Jesse's going to need to, in my opinion, make some sort of move for some receivers if he wants to really make a run at this thing. Because I just think as strong as he is at running back, doesn't really have a wide receiver one. He does have Aaron Jones, who a lot of people really, really like Aaron Jones. I've run a lot of numbers, and I've looked into this with the Aaron Rodgers thing. And maybe Aaron Jones is just really, really good, but Aaron Rodgers generally doesn't quarterback teams with RB1s in fantasy. There was 1 year, basically 1 year in his career, Eddie Lacy was a running back one, and that's really been it. So there are 3 running backs in that backfield, probably just 2 going forward. But Ty Montgomery actually had a pretty good game last week. So Jesse, I love the top part of your team. I like some of your matchups there as well. I do think this is going to be a tough week for you, though. I think AB might put it on you. Matt Ryan has played phenomenally, and that's a pretty good spot at Pittsburgh. McCaffrey back off the bye, game they should be winning. Diggs, right? Cooks take the top off. Obviously, they lost part of that secondary as well, and Kelsey's just been balling. So, Jay, this is a big one for you this week. To get to 3-2 would be huge. I think it's going to be challenging for you. Here is Simply Simple victory against Mr. Luckbox. 2 college friends, 2 college roommates. Let's go position by position and say where the advantage is. Here we have large Benjamin at home against Atlanta. I will give him a small advantage over Tom Brady, who is at home tonight against the Indianapolis Football Colts. Going to be a heck of a game there. The Patriots might score 60. Small advantage to large Benjamin just due to the game being competitive. Todd Gurley, advantage over Devonta Freeman. Sure, Foster loved what he saw about Kareem Hunt. With Kareem Hunt last week, Jags defense, tough spot, still an elite level play. Adrian Peterson at New Orleans, going to be a game flow situation. Is Chris Thompson in the game? Keenan Allen, Doug Baldwin. Ty, I hope they ball out for you, my friend. But they will not ball out as hard as Michael, Allen, Edwards, Thomas, and Emmanuel Sanders. Love those spots this week. I think Michael Thomas doesn't get quite as much attention from the defense with Mark Ingram back. Gronk supposedly is going to play tonight, Adam. You need a Gronk spike, in my opinion, to win this matchup. I think you will get it, but I'm very, very excited to see the outcome of this one. Should be very, very good, and I wish both of you the truly best of luck. Pimpin' Ain't Breezy, my lawyer. Matchup of Marcus Anthony Kelly and Trampus Allen Whalen. 2 dear friends, 2 bestie friends of mine. 2 individuals who have wonderful personalities as well. And we have Drew Brees, Melvin Gordon, Dalvin Cook, used to be on Juice's team, Devonta Adams, Kenny Galladay, Antonio Gates, still living, still thriving, getting in the end zone a little bit too, actually. Okay, tight ends have been brutal this year. I was texting with Trampus a little bit yesterday. He said, "What do you think of Gates?" And I said, "Hey, he gets in the end zone." And you kind of like those yardage totals, 45 yards. Well, not really. 16, 45, 27. But the tubby time is what we're after. Does Alshon play this week? I think probably. Big week for my lawyer, Marcus Kelly. And if you notice what Mark's done this year, he's had a very liquid, very fluid, very evolving lineup with his team. He has drafted Barkley and Michelle as well as Thielen, but the rest of his team pretty much is made up of some waiver wire things and some guys who he was patient in with. Corey Davis had his first NFL touchdown last week. A lot of the target share there in Tennessee. Adam Thielen is going out of his mind this year as Minnesota decided, you know what, let's stop running the ball and start losing. So that really worked out well with Kirk Cousins. You go from maybe the best team in the NFC or the second best behind St. Louis. You bring in Kirk Cousins and then you go 1-2-1 because you won't run the ball. So and you turn it over instead, but you play in high-scoring games. You got to throw to Adam Thielen. He's hooked on it. Who do I like in this one? I actually like Trampus this week. I think this is a battle of wits and a battle of will and a battle of heart. Neither team especially impacted by buys, injuries. There are some questionable tags up there. But I actually give the advantage in this one just slightly to Trampus Allen Edward Whalen because I think he's just going to find a way, the veteran presence to pull it off. Gentlemen, good luck to everyone. Apologize for the crappy content. I will do better next time.